Alright, something a little different today. I can't work on the engines, I'm waiting for parts, so I'm going to try and do a little work on the old Ford here. It's been a while, and the weather's finally changing, so we're going to do a little something on this. We're making progress on it. Looks like the paint held up pretty good over the winter on the hood and the cowl. And what we're doing is, I don't know if you remember last year, I fixed some of the rot and rust on here, put some patches in, and then seam sealed it, and this side here turned out okay. What happens is you get dirt and leaves and all kinds of garbage going into these grates, and when it rains, you know, it comes down the side, and it's supposed to come out the bottom. There's a small hole. I'm not going to bend down here and show you, but there's a small hole underneath here, and it's about the size of a quarter. And once it gets plugged up, which isn't tough with leaves and pollen, I got big chunks of pollen out here. But once that gets clogged up, it just the dirt just keeps piling up and rots that out. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do this side here. I started, and I even I welded some steel on the bottom here, because this is way worse than the other side. I got to tell you, I must have taken about 5-10 pounds of dirt out of this. You know, it was about the size of 2 bags of sugar, and it just builds up and rots. And this is what belongs in there. You got to bear with me with these shadows and stuff, because that's just the way the sun is. But like I say, this piece was all rotted out and down here, and I welded it in and then covered it with seam sealer, and I'm going to call that good, because you're not going to see it. But I cut this piece out here, so I got some good metal, and you can see the whole bottom of this was rotted out, and it went all the way up to the top here where I cut it. So I tried to make this piece here, and I'm going to weld it in there, and I think I'm going to leave a bigger hole on the bottom there, so whatever does get trapped in there, you know, will come out a lot easier. You know, I'm going to leave maybe about a 2-inch by 3-inch square. So that's our goal today. I want to try and weld the new piece, and maybe seam seal it all around here, clean that up, and put frame paint on that whole section there. But about a week or two ago, when the weather was nice, I painted the old hood hinges up and everything, and I didn't like them, so I figured, well, might as well just buy new ones. So I actually put new hood hinges on this, because the other ones were kind of sloppy. You know, I cleaned them up and painted them, but for the price of the new ones here, the new ones are only about $65 a piece. It was worth getting them. So that's where we're at. So I got the radiator support on and everything. So after we do them 2 patches there, I can put the front fenders on, you know, and the front fenders are already painted up. So that's where we're at. Let's go inside, and I'll show you what I cut up for that little section there. All right. Yeah, here's what I was able to do. I was able to shape this piece here. I really didn't worry too much about the denting and everything. I just wanted something solid for in there. So it was kind of fun, because it has a lot of shape to it. You know, a lot of shape going this way, and an angle here, and it's tapered. You know, you can see it's tapered there. But I was able to get it pretty close. And so here's the original piece, and I'm pretty close there. You know, once I tack it in place, you know, it is a little flexible, so I could make that fit there. And then I could even, once I tack it, I can move the one side in and out and go where I got to go. But I got the basic shape, and what I think I'm going to do is, you know, I cut these slots here, so once it's on, I could bend these pieces in where they have to be, and then weld them up. But like I said, I think I might just leave like this section here. I might bend that under a little bit, and just leave that whole section on the bottom open, so it won't clog up as fast. And I think we'll be okay. So let's go over to the truck and try and tack that in place. It is pretty windy out today. You see the branches whipping pretty good in the pineapple tree. And here, you can even hear it. I'll try to keep it so you don't hear the noise, but you know, I don't know how well it's going to affect my welding. At least maybe it'll give me an excuse. Alright, got the little piece down here, and I'm going to start welding here in the corner. Like I said, I got it pretty close there, and that's about the angle I want. So over here I'm going to have to trim it up a little bit, but should be okay. And by the feel of my fingers, that's about the angle I'm going to want it on. So I'm going to have to clean that up. I'm going to have to grind this up so it welds up a little better, and then grind the edges of this. So let me do that, and then we'll start grinding. We'll start welding up. Here are the old hood hinges, and you know, they're pretty sturdy, and the springs are good and everything like that. But like I say, the bushings are worn out in them, and there aren't really bushings. It's just metal to rivet. And if you wanted to, you could probably take them apart and redo it. But you know, it's just easy for me to buy new ones. Oh man, look! I hear the wind coming. The winds are whipping. A big tree out there. That's got to be a 75-foot tree. Yeah, like I say, we're going to try it. We're going to try to do our best here. Alright, I brought this down here with me so you can see some of it. I'm going to be welding without a helmet, you know, and I'm just going to close my eyes because I got one of them automatic darkening helmets, and with the sun behind you, they don't work anyway out in the sunlight. So let me try and tack this in place where I want it. Go from there. There you go. Got it. Alright, it's working out well. Scooper there is loose. Alright. Alright, like I say, you guys can see better than I can. Alright, I'm only going to go up to here because that's where it's all. Okay. It's pretty solid already. I was hitting a little dirt, but all right. It's working out well. I'm going to go around and fill all that in, and then we'll come back here and start messing with that. All right. Yeah, I'm liking that. That's solid, and it didn't blow through anywhere. I do have to touch up a few spots, but that's all. But over here, I'm going to, this here is hitting on the bottom, and that there, it's actually going to get cut off right here, and it goes down a little bit. So this gets cut off here and cut off here, and then what I'm going to do up here is I'm going to put a little slit in it, and then trim this off a little bit so I can push it in, and that should be okay. You guys are catching some bad light here, huh? Alright, let me dick around with that, and we'll put that in place. Alright, here we got that cut, and we're happy. You know, it's going to be a perfect match here. All I got to do is push this in, and from this point on, it's going to be flush. So I'm going to put a little tack here, and then weld all this up. And then I can just tap that in, and that'll be perfect. And then just weld this back up. And then we'll deal with this outside piece. Alright, yeah, we're happy with the progress of this. Yeah, we cut this hunk off here. We cut that off with the air cutoff wheel there. And then had to trim it up. And I trimmed it up with a Dremel, you know. A lot of people consider these toys and for crafts, arts and crafts and stuff, but I use this thing a lot. You know, it does the job. Instead of having to bring out the pencil grinder and stuff, that thing, you know, and it gives you a real thin, fine cut too, that even the bigger wheels don't give you. So, all right, let me keep going. Let's give this a try. Don't forget, I'm doing this blind. I gotta close my eyes when I weld. You guys can actually see better than I can, so I'll try and stay out of your way. Magic hammer always comes in handy. Alright. Close your eyes. Yeah, I think I actually got it. Yeah. Alright. Okay. It's working out well. I should have an air gun here to cool that off, but alright. It worked out better than I thought. You probably can't see this one here. Good thing, because I missed it. Alright, let me weld that up and then we'll mess with this edge here, and we'll wind up cutting some of that off. You might as well watch for a little bit, right? You got nothing better to do. So I got one here, I just barely caught it. Alright, that's pretty good. See, I'll grind that down and see what I missed and keep going. Alright. Oh yeah. See a spot right there I missed. Alright. It actually looks pretty good. Alright, let me trim this up here and then we'll finish welding that. Alright, yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks like it's sticking out a little bit here and it don't line up with this line here, but I bet you if I hit that right here on the side, it'll bring it right to where it belongs. Then I could pull that in and weld it. Very nice. Alright, let me tack that in place. Alright, I'm liking it. Not only am I liking it, I'm loving it. Alright, I couldn't even see that. Alright, I'm going to finish tacking this up here. Alright, I'm going to have to come over here. You guys are in my way, so I'm going to move you. Alright, let's see if I can bring this tab around and make it touch that piece there. That'll make it a little stronger. Okay. It's gonna be tough for me to get in there and weld that. Oh, you know what? I cut that piece out of the way because I'm not using that. But let me show you what that did over here. That opened up my gap, so I might have to put a piece of metal in there to make them meet, or else maybe try and bend that. We'll see. We'll see what that. When we get to it, we'll see what happens. All right. Yeah, we bent this piece under here and right to here and cut it where we want. So I just have to run a bead here and fill this little gap in here, and then I'm just gonna fill this in. I was gonna cut the bottom off and bend it in a little bit, but I got about an inch, maybe about an inch and a half, and I'm gonna leave that like that because I was over there measuring the other side to see how far down this would go, and it's 6 inches off of the bottom here, so it's just about right there. I would have had to cut off maybe about a 1/4 inch to make it right, but I'm gonna leave it the way it is, and I'm gonna weld this in place. And I was over the other side measuring, and I'm checking a little hole, the 1/4 size hole, and it already has leaves and stuff in it, and the truck that hasn't moved, you know, since I fixed that. So I think it would be better off like this, and this area is strong enough that that ain't going to make any difference. It's just going to help it keep it from rotting out again. So all right, I'm going to weld that up and then clean this all up, and then we'll seam seal this. I'm going to grind these down, just the big titties, and I'll seam seal this whole thing, and then maybe tomorrow I'll paint it with frame paint. Yeah, I put this off for a long time. I didn't want to do this because I knew it was going to be paint in the back, but it wasn't too bad. So let me weld all the stuff up, and then we'll go from there. All right, we're going to call that done as far as the welding goes. I got it all welded up pretty good in here, over here, and yeah, I'm going to just knock the big titties off. I'm not going to grind it down flush or nothing like that, and then seam seal it, because that's what they had originally. They just had it spot welded and seam sealed together, and I knocked all that seam sealer off. So I'll do that. We'll clean that up, and then we'll see what it looks like. All right. Yeah, I knocked down all the big titties and everything and cleaned this all up. I already started up here because you guys can't see that, and I got a tube of this stuff, and this isn't how you're supposed to put it on, so this isn't a how-to, so I don't want to hear nothing. I'm just putting a glob on here, and can you see that? Where you at? Here we go. I'm going to try and stay out of your way. And I'm just going to work it into the crevice there, the crevasse. Like I say, this isn't how you usually put it on, but this is how we're putting it on. I did a nice job on the other side putting it on. And then I realized I said, you're not even going to see it anyway. So, and the more you mess with this stuff, the worse it looks, because it dries almost immediately. So. So it does level out a little bit. So if you wanted to make this look good, you could. Right here I'm going to try and keep it a little flat because I don't know how far the fender's going to come in to hit this. So I'm going to try and make that a little bit flat. I don't know if you guys can see this, I'm way down here. Probably not. Alright, I'm going to move this to the other side, maybe you can see that a little better. Alright, I don't have much of a nozzle on this thing, but we'll see. See if I can get it in here. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. So you can make it look good if you want. Put some up here. I'm gonna finish it off with the squeegee though. like I say, you mess with it too much. Looks like we got a little too much here. It's oozing. Like I said, this ain't how to do it, so if you want to know how to do this, go check out a better channel. Ooh, look at that. See, if this was going to be seen, you'd want to do a little better job than I did, but nobody's going to see this. We're just looking for coverage. Alright, like I say, it's not pretty, but it'll do the job. Alright, we're going to let this set overnight, and then tomorrow we're going to come back and paint this with frame paint, and that'll be good. Alright, I'm going to keep seeing more stuff here. We're going to go process this thing and put it up on YouTube TV. So, let me shut this down and I'll see you in a minute. Alright, thanks to you guys that hung around for this. I know some of you guys don't like the truck videos, but then other guys ask about it, so I'll put it up for them. But even putting that seam sealer on like slop, it smooths itself out, so it doesn't look too bad, even though it's not going to be seen. So, like I said, I'm not going to show you, I'm not going to paint it black now. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'll give this overnight, and I'll go throw this up on the computer now and see if I can get it up for you tonight. Alright, what do you say? Enough of this? Alright. See you later. Alright, yeah, I forgot to mention, everything inside here is going to get painted because you got 4 access holes. You got this big one here, you put a brush in and spray it. You got the big hole down here, and then you got another access hole here, and you have the fresh air vent in there. You can get to that from inside the truck. That's how you put the antenna back in. So that'll keep a few guys from commenting on why I didn't spray it with weldable paint or something. So there you go.